Coming up next on FVN, Fire on Ice, the beautiful and graceful Olympic silver medal figure skater Sasha Cohen.
And no one can touch her on this spiral sequence. This is perfection.
Welcome back to Adventurer, the show where people truly push their lives to the limits. No talking heads here, just the real deals. I'm your host, Jim Clash. Sasha Cohen is one of the most graceful figure skaters of all time, and gutsy too. Her performance at the Torino Olympics last February, where she won the silver medal despite falling twice in the first minute of her long skate program, is the stuff of legends. Sasha Cohen, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we were all watching, of course, the Olympics in Torino. I can only imagine, what's it like to stand on that podium and look out in the crowd? Do you see people? What's going on? What are your emotions?
It's definitely incredible to be on the podium, to see the flag, to have that huge Olympic medal around your neck, and just to kind of take a moment and realize what it took to bring you to that moment that day.
Did you cry? Did you have tears?
I had tears, but different tears. I had some tears of disappointment earlier, but at the same time, I was just really proud because I think it was a changing day for me to be able to keep believing and pick myself up when I, didn't think anything was possible. So that was very rewarding for me.
Yeah, and I'd like to get to that because for me, watching you on TV like probably billions of people, you went into the final, the long program as the favorite, and you fell, I think, twice in the first minute. I don't understand how you could pick yourself up off the ice and skate a perfect 3 minutes and still pull off the silver medal. What were you thinking when you fell, and how did you do it? I mean, it must take a tremendous amount of inner intestinal fortitude.
That was probably the hardest day of my life. I had a really rough practice right before I went out. The warm-up was not going well, and I was dealing with injuries, going to the therapy at the village a couple times a day. And I just had to keep believing and keep being strong, and if there was a mistake, I had to shut it out of my mind and believe that I could nail that next element and not give up, keep fighting.
Well, that's a fall.
If you make a mistake, you can hear the whole audience, oh, you can hear like that drone everywhere. And it's hard, you have to learn to just snap out and just stay in the present. And I think that's why athletes, it teaches you so much about life and just being mentally a stronger person.
And I don't think our audience realizes that to be an Olympic medalist, the kind of training you've had to go through as an athlete and as a technician. Tell us a little bit about it. Didn't you start gymnastics when you were 5 years old?
I did. I was in gymnastics when I was 5 till I was 7. And then I started skating right after that. And, I just loved it. I got on the ice and I fell all over the place. But I love the speed and gliding across the ice. And like training for the Olympics, it's a full job. 6 days a week. 5 days would be more intense, Saturdays a little lighter. And then, of course, at the end of the day, I'm driving to physical therapy to get everything put back together again. And then you go home and kind of analyze what you did and get ready for the next day. So it's your whole life. Training is very intense.
Going into the Olympics, there was a lot made in the press about you and Michelle Kwan. It looked like they tried to build up some sort of tension between the two of you. A, was there any tension, and B, are you and Michelle friends?
I think that there is always competitiveness between you and other skaters at the top, because naturally you put your life into it and you want that top result. So at the same time, you can't be friends. You can be acquaintances, and you can be very polite, but there's always that barrier because you're going for the same thing. And we've known each other for maybe 10 years, and I respect her as a competitor. I've looked up to her and learned a lot from her, and that is my relationship with Michelle.
Oh, you guys friends?
I'd say we're acquaintances,
Okay, yes, fair enough. You're deciding to take a little time off. You're not going to skate the Nationals. You are the 2006 reigning national champion for the United States. Later this month in Spokane, you won't be skating. Who, if you were a betting woman, who would you put your chips on to win for the
I
US?
would probably say Kimmy.
Kimmy Meissner.
Yes, I would say Kimmy Meissner would probably win. She's had the experience of going to nationals as a senior and competing on the world level. But you never know. Ice is slippery and anything can happen to anyone. And, you know, people think people are sure things and then someone's injured or has an off night. And I don't know. We'll have to see.
Personality.
Wow.
Again, the charismatic Sasha Cohen. I'm Forbes Adventurer Jim Clash. Tune in next time for Sasha Part 2, where I talk to her about her activities off the ice. And thanks for watching FVN.